Hi, I'm Becca, and this is my booktube. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're watching this video after watching a previous video. Welcome if you are new here. Today, I wanted to wish a special birthday to one of my grandma's favorite children's author slash illustrators. His name is Tomie dePaola. So my grandma is a large reason as to why I love books and reading so much. And she was an elementary school teacher for a very long time. And after she retired, she worked in the local library and she always had a ton of books in her house. And one of her favorite children's author and illustrators was Tomie dePaola. He created over 200 children's books. One of his most famous ones was Stregonona, which my youngest has brought home from the school library several times. She always loves that one. My middle daughter, her favorite of his that we used to read a lot when she was growing up was The Quilt Story. I have a copy of it, but I think it's in a box still from us moving. He just has like such a unique and specific style to his drawings and his artwork. And he always wrote a lot of really great stories. One of my favorite ways that I got to experience Tomie dePaola books growing up was these VHS tapes called Children's Circle. In them, they would have like animations and narrations of children's literature. And I remember watching the one about the juggler. I'll put the cover of the book right here. But yeah, it was just a really beautiful story about, this juggler that in his young life is able to entertain people in the town. And then as he gets older, he kind of like people lose interest and he kind of like falls into the shadows. The ending scene is really beautiful because he kind of does this like final presentation of his juggling for a statue of Mary and baby Jesus in the church, and like offers up this performance to them. That was one that always stuck with me. I really liked The Quilt Story, reading that to my daughter as she was growing up. His birthday is today. He would have been 91. Sadly, he passed away in 2020, but a lot of his stories live on in schools and in libraries and obviously in the bookstore. Along with celebrating Tomie dePaola's birthday in this video, I wanted to take you guys out on a little field trip. So, without further ado, let's go to the car. Hello from my car. Ooh, hopefully you're not like all smudged and blurry. This is going great. This is a very professional operation here. And I'm gonna have to review this before I drive away. Today is Monday, September 8th. And last week, I believe on like the 1st or the 2nd, Rebecca Ross's new book, Wild Reverence, came out. It's a standalone book that goes in the world of her Divine Rivals books. It's meant to be like a prequel to the books, and it's been very highly anticipated. A lot of people were super excited about it getting released. I was waiting until payday to get it, which was Thursday, and then I had a very, 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 very busy and chaotic weekend starting on Thursday because of the fact that my kids started school on Thursday. Friday, I had to work my part-time job, so I didn't really have time, and I was also very, very tired. Saturday, I had to work all day at my part-time job again. I had a very long shift that day. Sunday, I did technically have time to go to Barnes & Noble. I also did not have the energy to go to Barnes & Noble. And to be completely honest, I don't really have the energy today either, but I do need it. I need to go to Barnes & Noble and just walk around and relax, have a good little mental health boost. Cause yeah, I have been feeling kind of crummy lately. So hopefully books make me feel better. That's the goal for today, is to feel better thanks to books. So let's go to Barnes & Noble. All right, I've made it to Barnes & Noble. I've changed my hair because when I checked to make sure that that video that I recorded in my driveway turned out great, I didn't like the way my hair looked. We're gonna go in, we're gonna have a nice relaxing time. We're gonna find Wild Reverence, and we are also going to make a little pit stop in the children's section. Oh, there goes an ambulance. For now, let's go shopping. So when I first went into Barnes & Noble, I was immediately excited to see a little like display wall shelf of different mythologies, and I was very, very tempted to buy the Scottish mythology one because I want to draw inspiration from Scottish mythology for some of my writing. So I definitely wanted to grab that, but I didn't because it was not the book I was looking for. Definitely did my usual wandering around. I found 3 separate books from authors that I really want to read. And like it's the first books in all their series and they're just so thick. It's so intimidating. Like I want to get into those books, but I'm also very worried about how long it will take me to read them. And then was very distracted by the Dungeons and Dragons section. Made sure to give a little boop the snoot to the dragon plushie. Of course, also had to pay homage to Her Majesty Sarah J. Maas. Always got to stop by and say hi to her table, even if I don't get anything new. Then I went over to the kids section and was looking for at least one Tomie dePaola book. I thought I would find more. And honestly, I almost gave up my search because it was getting really hard to find it. And then I did finally find Strigonona. So then once I found that, I was ready to like pursue my actual reason for being there, which was finding Wild Reverence. I'm not used to getting stuff in the new section. I usually wait a while before I get books, or I just kind of like happen upon them. So it took me a minute to realize I needed to go over to the new section. So I went over to the new section and scanned and finally found the book I was looking for. And then on my way to check out, was distracted by a couple other shelves of things that my daughter or myself would very much enjoy. I definitely did a little scan of the blind date with a book end cap, and I think one day I will finally do a blind date with a book, and I'll probably do a video on it, but just it's really hard for me to commit to those because I have such trust issues with like whether or not what's being presented to me informationally is what I actually am gonna get. And also I do have a slight worry that I'll pick a blind date with a book because I like the description and it'll be a book that I've already read and possibly also already own. Someday I'll do it. Maybe I'll just have to make sure that like whatever blind date with a book I pick, it's in a genre that I don't usually read, and I'm challenging myself to like branch out towards, because then I'll be guaranteed to probably have not read it before. But hopefully I'll still enjoy it. I got my book. I'm looking forward to reading it and telling you guys what I think. Hopefully I love it. The only thing I've read of Rebecca Ross's that I didn't really enjoy was one of her early works, and that happens. Like, as an author, sometimes you're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And I think one of her earlier stories didn't really work, but all of her later works I have absolutely loved. She has an amazing talent for lyrical writing. She has amazing dialogue. Her River Enchanted duology, I think it's something of cadence. There's a name for that duology. That's what it's called. It's so beautiful. Like when you're reading it, it's just so immersive. It's gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Okay, so I'm back home. It's actually nighttime now. Came home and just sat my stuff down and ate lunch and took a break. before my girls got home from school and I had a bunch of other stuff that I had to do. But I want to start reading it, so I'm going to show it off to you really quick. We've got this gorgeous cover. Rebecca Ross's name is like embossed with a bunch of stars around it. It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive, so that means it's probably gonna have like a special chapter in it. It's got really beautiful sprayed edges. Also, it has an amazing sword on the back. And if we take off the dust jacket, oh, it's so cute. I mean, I've seen this a bunch of times because I follow her, so I follow her on Instagram, so I see everything. But these are the main characters. They're gonna fall in love, and it's gonna be beautiful, and it's probably gonna be heartbreaking because that's the kind of story she writes. And then we got constellations. I'm ready to get wrecked. Oh no, I'm totally getting wrecked. I just turned to the dedication page, and the dedication says, "For anyone who has ever had to let go of someone they love." Rebecca, why? Why? Oh no, I'm gonna get so wrecked. Oh man. Okay then. I'll check back in with updates about how I feel about this book. I've been reading Wild Reverence for the past couple of days. I think I'm like almost halfway through. I really would have loved to just stay home and read it all day yesterday, and I had to work an 11-hour shift that started at 6 a.m. I did read a little bit in the car when I was at work because we had to drive like 2 hours to a location. But I didn't read on the way home because I honestly thought if I read on the way home that I would fall asleep, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to stay awake and like stay functional for the most part. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely not what I expected, which I feel like happens a lot of times when I read Rebecca Ross. And I mean that in a really good way. That like, I always think I can tell where the story is gonna go, and then she never takes it the direction that I think it's going. And I really like that. Like there's some enjoyment in predictability, but there's also like just so much more enjoyment in being swept away by the story because you can't see things coming. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it pans out in full by the end, and will definitely be happy to finally get to talk about a book that I finished reading. Especially because in August I didn't actually read a whole book, and I was so bummed out by that. But it's September. We're gonna read all of Wild Reverence, and at the end of the month I will read a different book from cover to cover and post a video about that. Thanks for sticking around and watching this video with me. If you like Rebecca Ross's books and you went out and got Wild Reverence and you started reading it, please tell me how much you enjoyed it, or you are enjoying it. If you know who Tomie dePaola was, shout out a happy birthday for him with me. And if you don't know who Tomie dePaola was, but you like children's literature, you have kids and you're looking for books to read to them, definitely check him out because he's a very talented artist. He's a very talented storyteller, and we need that. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.